Yes, yes. So yes, go ahead, introduce yourself, mate.
Hello, everyone. My name is Acy Brown. I'm the president and founder and CEO of Acy Brown LLC, which is an athleisure brand that's centered around health, wellness, and fitness. I'm also the president of the Dante and Drew Annie nonprofit 501c3, and I also am the president of Acy Brown Media Group, which the Art of Business Best of Both Worlds documentary is produced on, and where I'm also serving as executive producer on that project.
Good morning, good morning. This is Harriet Burnette, CEO of Dell Colors Productions LLC, coming to you this morning. But this morning is not about me. I want to tell you how excited I am. I had a nice, take that back, a great interview session as co-host with on the D.D. Walker Live show with the amazing D.D. Walker. With the interview was with Mr. Acy Brown. When I tell you that interview was all that, that's an understatement. But I just wanted to get up here and tell you a little bit about him. This man from Chatham, Louisiana, population about 470 something to that nature. We're similar in that aspect. I'm from a small town called Whitaker, North Carolina, population about 638, somewhere in that range. But how many of you know that small doesn't mean a thing? When I tell you some big things came out of Chatham, Mr. Acy Brown, I love this guy right here. This shirt that I'm wearing, Peace is Priceless, that's his brand. He's the CEO of that company, and I am fortunate and honored to be his ambassador. And I just want to let you guys know that this, if you ever want to meet a real guy, a real person that's real in what he say and he serve his God, that's absolutely amazing. We know that. He make no moves without his God. And when I tell you 4 years ago, when he was telling me some things that's going on and things are going to happen, whoo, those things are happening, guys. There's one thing I can say about him, what he say, what Mr. Acy tell you, what he says, you can best and believe that it's going to happen. He's a very true man of his word, and I'm honored to have him as my friend now. So get ready for this interview that's coming. Just get ready for it. So I'm excited. Have an amazing day. Thank you again, Mr. Acy Brown, for such an amazing interview last night. And thank you, my sis D.D. Walker, for allowing us to be on your platform. God bless. Merry.
I'm from a small town in Louisiana called Chatham. And
Mm-hmm.
to give you some type of perspective on the size of Chatham, it's about 450 to 500 people. My graduating high school class, we had 35. And I live
Well,
down at a half dirt road, half asphalt road. So I actually live like out in the real country part of Chatham.
oh wow. Oh wow.
I graduated from Grambling State University with a degree in accounting.
Mhm.
My background before I got involved in the entertainment business, I worked in corporate America, and I worked for companies such as IBM, Mobil Oil, Wyndham International Hotels, and the Department of Health and Human Services, which is part of the federal government as an auditor. And for the last 20 years, I've been involved in modeling and acting. And now that I've started my own brand, now I'm getting over into production. And for the last 15 years, I've been back here serving as a caretaker for my parents and my aunts.
Mhm.
Part of the persons that people I was taking care of was my father, another cousin of mine, and my uncle. And those three people have passed away recently. So right now I'm still caretaking for my mother and my aunts.
Mhm.
And I'm glad to be on the show this evening. I consider myself to be a very down to earth person, easy to work with. I love collaborating and working on different projects with different people. I'm
Yeah.
not a person that likes to do things solely by myself. I like to include other people. And hopefully, this podcast this evening, that will come across well, because that's really the purpose that I wanted to come on and do this with Harriet as well, because she is currently serving as my brand ambassador, but she's also a good personal friend of mine. So those are some things about me. Later on, I'll get over into a lot of the projects and different things that I'm working on with my business.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. And I want to just thank you for coming on this show. And I want to thank Harriet once again for co-hosting this show. So Harriet, definitely, like, she's been on here so many times, but for those who are just tuning in for the first time, Harriet, let them know who you are.
Wow.
She's amazing. This gentleman right here, amazing.
Acy knows, and he's been on me. I'm not one to really talk about myself. I'm trying to get better with that. Well, all of you know my name, and you know that I have been a part of the entertainment industry pretty much all of my life. Started out with singing since I was a child, and from there I went to modeling. Modeling took over. From there to acting, but my modeling took wings and flew back in '79 when I was asked to be a part of a modeling group out of Tarboro, North Carolina, where I served as a model there, and then moved to Washington, D.C., where I started my own group, Del Carlos Productions, in 1985. From there, I hosted, coordinated, put together all sorts of shows all over North Carolina and part of DC area as well. Moved back to North Carolina. Started working I worked at Abbott Laboratories, pharmaceutical company. I'm sure y'all have heard of it. Probably used some of the medicine before. I worked there for several years and decided to, after I had my oldest son, move to Fayetteville, North Carolina, where I met a young lady here who was doing fashion shows, and someone told me about her, and I went to meet her. She was doing a show. I was going to just be in the show, and she made me the coordinator of the show by watching what I did. So went from there to 2013, kind of fell into the acting thing. From there, it's just been blossoming from there. I've been doing movies all over. Got movies on Tubi, Amazon Prime, been in Fatal Attraction twice. Really, really enjoy that. But I'm a people person. Back in, like I said, I started Del Carlos Productions in, like I said, 1985. And then recently just upgraded and became Del Carlos Productions LLC. In Del Carlos Productions LLC, we not only teach modeling, I'm a mentor to young ladies and men, to get them prepared to go out into the world and to conquer any dreams and things that they want to do, and let them know that they are loved from the inside out. And whatever it is, acting, singing, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. In the Del Carlos Production, we cover all of that, basically teaching them to love themselves and to apply that in anything that they want to do in life, and whatever dreams they have, that no one can stop them from achieving those but them. So that, and I met Mr. Acy 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Through looking at his awesome t-shirts online, and I went, oh my God, peace is everything to me. And I fell in love with the name, not knowing that I was eventually fall in love with the actual shirt, and then, fell in love with the person himself. But the shirts, man, blew my mind when I got my first one and felt it. Man, I was like, this is not like any t-shirt I've ever had before on my body, okay? And the piece's prices just knocked it out for me. And I'm sure, Dee, you've seen me wear them on several occasions. I'll let them get into
the and everything.
Right. I love my shirts. Yeah, I walk out in the street, anywhere I go out in the street, and people look at me, and I have them. I just had the other day. I had my hoodie on the other day, and the lady walked past me. I had to catch what she was talking about. It when she walked past me, she said, "That's exactly right." She said, "I love that shirt," and I went, "Oh yeah, exactly. My piece is everything." I said, my piece is everything. And she said, yes, absolutely. And she smiled, and she said, have a blessed day. I said, you do the same. So it's it's a brand, but it's also a part of life for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just for me. So I can't even imagine what it is for Mr. AC. It's become that for me. So that's why I said yes to be his ambassador for that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into some more later if you get. But the thing, man, I am just so blessed to
Mm-hmm.
have met this amazing man.
And you know what? She has talked so much about you, and all the things that she's saying, and so that's why I'm excited to be on this podcast today talking to you, because I want everybody else to hear how amazing you are. And one of the questions that I have, and I know Harriet has tons of questions, so I'm gonna let her get into it. But one of the question is that what, because I know that you said that you're in the healthcare, you're a caretaker, you have your own media group. What started you along the path that you took in the first place?
Um, since the age of 8 years old, I've always had a dream of being on the front cover of GQ magazine dressed in a suit. The ones that I meet, I've always told them that that's where my passion came from. I didn't know anything about the entertainment business. One day I asked my mother about, hey, how do I get on TV commercial? I want to be on TV. She said, well, only famous people be on television and be in commercials. So I was like, well, I'm not famous, so that's the end of that.
That's how you get
Fast,
famous.
now, I'll fast forward to when I worked for the federal government. Back then, they didn't have casual Friday. You wore business suits and dress attire every day of the week. Then they finally came up with what they call casual Friday. And that's where on Friday you could dress down and wear a t-shirt as long as it didn't have any offensive material on it. And I still kept wearing suits on casual Friday. And then one day, one of my coworkers finally asked me, who was getting an elevator. She was like, have you ever considered modeling before? And I said, yes, I've considered it for years, but I don't know how to get involved in it. And she said, well, there's going to be a casting. There's going to be various talent agencies there. My daughter models professionally. So she said, I recommend you go. So she gave me the address, and she said, I didn't have any professional pictures. And she said, well, just go and just get a picture. Just any picture you have, just take it down there. So I went to FedEx Kinko's and I ran off a picture, and I took it to the calls for me, the model and the talent agency calls.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 months later, one of the agents that I gave my picture to called me in for a cold read and an interview. And once I did the cold read, her exact words were, you're going to need some work on your acting skills, but you have a look that I can get you a lot of commercial work with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, great, because still photography is my favorite. That's my passion. So I've been able to do a lot of print ads. And you have the different facets of modeling. A lot of times when people hear the word modeling, they think about runway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got runway modeling, you have commercial print modeling, you've got the TV commercial, that's a form of modeling. You have editorial modeling, you have high fashion modeling. Now, there are several others, but the main areas that I'm captivated by are the areas of commercial modeling, commercial print modeling, TV commercial modeling, and now I'm headed over into the high fashion modeling. And at this current time, I have about 35 to 40 active campaigns, media campaigns going on. And some of those are with Fendi, Dior Men, Louis Vuitton, Ballman. So now I'm headed more into the high fashion brands, which those brands originated and are located overseas. So right now I have multiple campaigns that are not only going on internationally, but also here domestically. And the TV commercials are about characters. So when you're looking at television commercials, they cover all aspects of life. That's why you see doctors and lawyers and CEOs and truck drivers and maids and housekeepers. You see all the different products, and it's not age related. It's not tied to you being. You can do commercial modeling from the time you're born to the time you pass. Meaning you can be 1 day old, or you can be 99 years old, because it's about a look versus your age. And I've always wanted to have versatility with my looks. So I want to have looks that range from a businessman, CEO, pushing a lawnmower, where I can get weed commercials or lawn commercials. So I'm not shut out of anything. And I'm 55 years old.
Oh.
And I don't say that from a standpoint that
you don't look 55.
Oh,
Harry said no.
And within that, I mentioned 55 years old because a lot of times people, when they tend to get older, they run from their age or they think their age is a hindrance. But if you keep yourself up and you remain vibrant, and when I talk about the health, wellness, and fitness components of my brand, this is where those components tie in to what I want to do professionally, so they're linked together.
Absolutely.
So I do my best to keep myself in shape. That's not just physically, but that's mentally as well. And that's where the piece is priceless part of my brand come from, which is my clothing line, which I'm also in the process of working on a distribution deal for those with a company overseas in China.
Can't wait.
So that piece is priceless component, those aren't just words. I live by that. And going into this industry, because the entertainment industry has a lot involved in it. And I'm sure that if you hear about the Puffy situation and different things like that, it's a lot of negativity in it, but there's also a lot of positivity in it. But as a person, I want to go into the industry and on this higher level in a peaceful state of mind. Because what happens a lot of times is when people get involved in that industry, because it's different from 9 to 5.
Yes, indeed.
There's a lot of rules in life that do not apply in the entertainment industry. So I want to go into that area grounded. I want to go into it with my spirit intact. I want to go into it already in a peaceful state. So once the red carpet events and the accolades and the pats on the back and all that superficial stuff comes into play, I don't get caught up in it. I'll go into it in a peaceful state.
Right.
And having that versatility, like I was talking about, of being a CEO look, or I can get the Crest commercial, Crest ad. I can get the desk worker behind a hotel. So when you watch these commercials, you see a doctor. I can play a doctor role. So that versatility is another mainstay. So within talking about my age, it also shows that if you deal with me, if you book me, or why should you book me, is because I have versatility and also longevity with my look, which is a part of my brand. So all these different aspects and components is what makes up the Acy Brown brand. But with the production company and all of that, I want all these things to tie in and be linked together. So when you meet me in person, you're not meeting someone that's different. Wherever I go, my brand goes. Wherever my brand goes, Acy Brown goes.
Yeah, man, I can vouch for that.
I said, Acy Brown is, of course, is my name, but Acy was my grandfather, my mother's father, and my father's last name is Brown. And I wanted to always have the Acy Brown component being the mainstay of my brand, because that's my legacy piece. So long after I'm gone, Acy Brown, the legacy, the family part, because I'm real into my family. And I want that to be a continuation, because
for sure,
I have any biological children. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because that's how important and how serious I am about my brand and my brand being successful and my brand being an extension of the blessings that I receive from my mother and father.
Because your brand is your baby.
It's my baby. And
right.
Treat it as a baby.
And you treat it that way. And I'm I see that, and I saw that from the beginning when I first met you. And Dee Dee, check this out. I don't know. I'm sure I've told you. I've never met this beautiful, awesome $1 million smile man in my life personally. Okay,
Look, there's a smile.
but there you go. So and we working on that. So and if y'all listening, we accepting monies for that $1 million smile, any kind of campaign. Well, look, but I'm the manager, so you can't go past me to get to that smile. So anyway, just throwing that out there. So I just wanted you guys to know.
If which angle it comes, direction it comes from, I'm all good.
So I just want my percent. That's all. I just want my percent. But like I said, I've never met Acy personally, but it was like our first time we had a conversation. We were going back and forth on the phone without, because it's like, it started with me ordering the shirt, and then from there people started seeing the shirt, and then I was like, look, I need a size such and such and such. He said, wait a minute, you just, and when I say I needed a certain thing, trust me, it was at my door the next week. It wasn't like I'm waiting 3-4 months to get it. It was there, and
which is a good thing.
They were selling like crazy. So I said, you know what? I'm tired of talking, going back and forth on this texting and stuff. I said, let me call it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we got on the phone. I think that first time we was on the phone, what, a couple of hours or so? We was on the phone.
Like 4 hours.
Yeah, we was on the phone about, and from that point on, the friendship started.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked me out the blue one day. So, you know what? Look here. Look, you sell a lot of these shirts, man. Would you consider being my ambassador for the brand? I'm like, huh? He said, yeah. Would you be my ambassador? I said, of course. Shoot. So absolutely. I'm going to work now for real. So
you don't
know, you know. And I immediately got on the phone. I said, look, I got some. Yay. I just send me a bunch of shirts. Just send me all different sizes. Trust me, I'm gonna get rid of these things. So it went from there, and then the friendship built, and we talk on a regular. He's gives me lots of good advice. I've learned a lot through talking to him and using. I'm gonna say use the word using. I've used him to better to enhance what I thought I had but didn't know how to put it out there. I'll do it that way. So I'm honored. I'm pleased to be your friend, and I'm now everybody will know that out front. I just need them to know. And wherever you go, if I'm there, I'm coming, and no question about that. All you got to do is whistle, call to pick up the phone, call me. And I love the collaboration that we have. We stuck like glue, and I ain't going nowhere. You stuck with me. You know, you can shake all you want.
All right, I'm gonna have to send another link. We don't.
Oh, you ready to go out?
Yeah, we went into it.
Oh my goodness, we were getting down.
Yes, you guys are amazing. My goodness, you guys, y'all, I love what you guys are saying, because that shows you right there that the product that you have going on is something that's from the heart. And I love the advice, Acy, that you was giving as far as modeling, because a lot of times, a lot of folks think that the only time that you could start modeling is when you're 2 years old, you know, like, and you got to have the perfect body shape and everything. But it's good that one of the things that you didn't mention, that you was into healthcare and everything else like that. I want to talk about your piece shirts, but I just really fast, I wanted to talk about the fact that you said that you take care of your family members, and that's important to me, because at one time I used to take care of my mother-in-law who has Alzheimer's. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. My mother actually has dementia, and she developed that about 7 years ago. And my father passed away back in November of last year. And in caring for my mother, she's always been the one that took care of the house, the finances, and all of that stuff. My father was he was hands off with that. So initially, I just began to recognize, changes with my mother, the stuff that when she tried to cook, she couldn't remember to cut the stove off, driving, all those components. And one of the blessings for me is being able to care for my mother like she took care of me. And I also take care of her sister. That's like my second mom. They live right next door to each other.
Oh, wow.
And when I first started taking care of them, this was like an assignment for me. And the toughest part about it initially was they reared me to be a man and to work and to be able to take care of myself. And the question I had for God when he first put this on me to take care of them was, well, how am I going to take care of my parents and work at the same time? And his answer was, you're not going to. So fast forward, I really had to put my life on hold to a large degree. That means the dreams and the aspiration of modeling, all that had to be put on hold because I've been doing this full time. And the documentary itself, part of that is inside of the documentary. It walks people through these different aspects of my life.
Must see documentary.
All the different hats that God has placed on my head. At the same time, he's blessing me and allowing me to build my business from this small area. And that's what I'm hoping that for the people that do watch the documentary will get that out of it more than it's just, okay, a film and somebody's trying to make money off of it. I'm wanting them to see that in order to be successful at this, even though you may live in a small town or you may be a caretaker or you may be doing something that pulls you away from what your ultimate dream is, that if you focus, you pray, and you ask God for guidance, and you lock in, you'll still be able to get a lot of your blessings because he will guide your footsteps and he will hold things in place, so to speak, until your assignment, which that's where when he says obedience is better than sacrifice comes in. Yeah. So everything that you see with my brand, I had none of this.
And this
5
is the
years
Keith
ago.
brand, right?
Yes, that's a component of it. And like right now, when people ask me, where can I go order your pieces? I tell them, right now you can't order anything because these were more like sample pieces for me to see how the market and see how people would take to it. So currently, this is what's tied up in my distribution deal. So once I'm able to solidify that and get all that, that's when people will be able to order my hoodies and my shirts and other things that I'm in the process of having designed that I'm going to add to my Pieces Prices line.
Right.
Okay.
And let me add with that is
go ahead.
The documentary is a must see. I promise you, you need to go and look at that documentary. I've seen it 3 times already, and it gives you an inner, gives you an insight of the real Acy inside and out and what he's all about. So everything that he's telling you right now, you can see his work ethic and all of that and how he take care of his family and all that in that documentary, along with his business partner, Mr. Anthony. So go and see that. It's and that's another thing I love, that it ties us together because even though he said he really ain't into the acting thing per se, he does it with ease. I am into it for him. Well, DD knows that, and I don't know if you can see the posters behind me. One of them is the first movie that I did for Vision by Shawnee Hardy, and the second one is my 3 boys that I do. So, and it's a part of my life. It's what I do now, just like Pieces Prices is a part of Acy's life, and it all of it ties into peace that we have with our life and with God and what he gives us to get out here and do the things that we do. So I'm just thrilled to be up here. And he said earlier, he said, "You excited?" I said, "Yes, I am." I am very excited.
I'm excited to be in this room with you 2 guys. You guys are amazing, the both of you. I always brag on Harriet, and Harriet always brags on you. And that documentary, how can people find it to watch it? Because it's a must watch.
It's currently on Tubi. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Freevee TV, and it's also on Roku. And my business partner, Anthony Lill, and I, we're in talks right now with Netflix and Discovery to get them to carry it. And
Oh.
that negotiations are going.
And it's going
very
to
well.
happen. We speak
Already
it into
done.
existence. It's going to happen. The name of the documentary is
The Art of Business, the Best of Both Worlds. And
Awesome.
and that tells our story, me and Anthony's story, and a lot of the trials and tribulations and our journey. And the beauty of the documentary is it's in real time. It's ongoing, it's current. A lot of documentaries, not to talk negative, because I don't talk negative about anyone's projects. Most documentaries will go back and tell the story of where something originated. This one is in real time. So as every little thing that you see is adding in, and it's going to be an extension of that documentary, but it lays out all the different aspects of my life and the different hats that God has put on my head. And there's a lot of versatility inside the documentary. It's a faith-based documentary. It's a family-friendly documentary. So you can watch it with your children. There's something in it for every age group, all sexes, all races. Because anybody has a mother or a grandmother or a grandfather or a cousin or an aunt. And from a caretaking standpoint, you've either been a caretaker, you're going to be a caretaker, or you decline being a caretaker.
Absolutely.
For someone.
All those,
Because
that's
there's sickness.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. And while we're talking, because I don't want you to leave up from here without giving information as to how everybody like myself, but I already know how to reach you. I reach out and touch you personally. Hey, what's that? What's that? But how they can reach you on all of your
yes.
Give us the information so they know how to reach out to you and that.
The main two platforms that I operate on are Facebook, and you can find me on Facebook, Acy Brown, and you can find me on Instagram at Acy Brown. That's ACY Brown. Or you can do the simple Google search. If you put in Acy Brown on Google, you'll see a lot more of my work and myself pop up. And I'm real big on being honest and having high morals, values, and characters, and telling you the truth.
Absolutely.
So whatever you see or whatever you read about me, it's authentic, and it's real. You can put your finger on it.
I can
live
for that.
I
from
love
4
it.
years ago, when he told me what was happening with him and where he was going and where God was leading him to do, I'm seeing all those things take place in real time, as you know. So it's nothing, and anything he said to me or any advice he's given to me, if I take the advice like I should, sometimes I get hard-headed and get lazy. But when I do, it works. And he's still working with me, and I love it. I love it. Like I said, we have a partnership / friendship that's that's beyond, so.
And I want to say this before we go. I'm also in the process of working on my book, my memoir, and that book is going to not only walk through people through different aspects of my life, but it's actually going to be a blueprint of how I got here. And I'm not afraid or ashamed to lay out different aspects of my life. So there's a vulnerability part that's going to be inside of my book as well. And I'm also in the process of working on an animated anime or animation. So there'll be more details about that coming out later, but just hold that in your think tank, because that's something else that I'm working on to add more versatility to my brand.
That be on the next podcast.
You guys, you gotta follow him. You gotta follow him because you're doing some amazing stuff. And your Peace brand. How can folks get a hoodie, get a shirt, get a hat? Come on now.
At the moment, I'm not selling those.
Okay.
Because I'm going through the process of doing a redesign with them.
Got you.
But I do have something special that I'm going to send you.
Bam.
So when they being selfish about it, I've got something for you. So I'll make sure I get that in the mail.
And I will definitely wear it on my podcast.
Trust me, I'll have it soon.
And
I gotta be happy.
If I know AC is already in a box.
Yep, he knows how I am.
I know him. If
say I'm
I
gonna
know
do
him without
something,
in the box, boo. If he
it's
said it
really
off, he's
done.
in the box.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what? Both of you guys are amazing. Thank you, Harriet, for co-hosting this with me today. It was
Absolutely.
beautiful having you on the show. I wish I could have you even longer because I know that you have so much to say.
But
And before you go, one of the things I do like to ask the guests to do is your whole interview was advice, but if you can give someone who is going through the adversities that you're going through, like, home care, whatever it is, but they have a dream and they want to seek their dream, what advice would you give them?
Do not be afraid to invest in yourself. That's financially, spiritually, and emotionally and mentally. And believe in yourself, but also really believe in what you're doing because you're always going to be surrounded by people that's going to want you to do this and do that and try this, try that. And you have to believe in what you're doing and stick to that and trust and have faith in God and let Him guide you. And when you put yourself in a peaceful place, because when you have peace, you're calm. The calmer you are, the more you can hear God talking to you.
absolutely.
And you'll have
Yes.
more understanding from Him about what He wants you to do and how He wants you to do it. And that's what advice I give to anyone.
You should add pastoring. Be a pastor. Oh my gosh. That was,
I'm an
you know
ordained
what?
deacon, but
Woo, loved it. I loved it. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on this show. And of course, you definitely have to come back, especially when you got that book that you have coming out there. And, I'm going to have my girl Harriet on here too, because, I got to have my girl on here. It's
thank you
been a
so much.
blessing having both of you guys on here.
Yeah.
You guys, please come back again. Again, you guys, Acy Brown. You can find him. Just Google him. Of course, Harriet Burnette. You Google her. She comes up. Everybody, y'all, thank you and God bless you. And one more thing before I go, and this is the most important thing that I love to tell everybody. I love you, man.
We love you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate it.